Welcome to the Daniel Fast, and we're doing jackfruit cakes today. You're going to need 1 can, 20 ounces of jackfruit in brine or water, not syrup. And you're going to drain the jackfruit and put it into either a mini chopper. I'm using my hand chopper and or a food processor. The centerpiece, the very tip of the jackfruit pieces, you can cut off if you want. They're a little tougher, but I leave mine on. And I'm doing this in batches because my chopper is small. So you're just going to process it till you get it to a nice shredded texture. It's almost going to look like shredded chicken, or yeah, kind of like shredded chicken, but just very wet. And that's what you're going for. And so once you finish that, put it aside. You need 1 can of chickpeas, drained. The recipe calls for cannelli beans. I didn't have that. Use chickpeas. A nice mild flavor, and it works really well for this recipe. Mash it till you get a nice textured paste. You don't want a puree, so be careful if you put it in the food processor. The next step is you take your drained, chopped jackfruit and you add in your mashed chickpeas. And the chickpeas also help with binding and also add a nice bit of protein. The next step is white rice. I use white rice. You can use brown rice, of course, and I had a little extra, so I just dumped it all in there. So it's a generous cup of rice. And you're also going to need chickpea flour, also called besan. I think that's how it's pronounced. So you need a couple of tablespoons of chickpea flour. I never used anything except chickpea flour. Maybe rice flour might work. And this is cream sauce. The recipe calls for mayonnaise, which we can't use, so I'm using this cream sauce, which is one of my favorite condiments. It's the same one I use from my mac and cheese recipe. You also need some Old Bay seasoning, which is just, to me, Old Bay is like what seafood tastes like. This is one of my favorite recipes as a vegetarian. You're also going to need 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, as well as parsley. That's what I'm adding there. This is ground seaweed sheets. The recipe calls for kelp granules, which I don't have, so I decided to crush up a sheet of seaweed that I had, and to get the same effect. And I'm also adding in salt and pepper to taste. And the last part is easy. Just mash everything up together with your hands, and at this point you can also taste to see, because it's not raw, you can taste and see if there's anything else that you need to add to enhance the flavor. And at this point, I'm just rolling it nice, I don't know, nice size ball, maybe, so you get a patty that's about 2.5 inches, 3 inches across. And at that size, it makes about 8 to 9 patties. So that's the size I'm going for, and it holds together really well. The next step is to put enough oil at the bottom on your skillet and roll it around so it covers the bottom of the pan. That's about maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. 2. You add your jackfruit patty to a hot pan and just roll it around so that it doesn't stick as it cooks. I usually do about 3 patties in a pan. And this is also a great weeknight meal because you can cook it in about, from start to finish. If you have all the ingredients, you can cook it in about 35 minutes. So yeah, I fit about 3 in the pan so you don't have any overcrowding. And fry it till you get a nice golden brown color. And then the last step is to drain it on a paper towel, and then you get these held together really well, very tasty. The seaweed flakes were a really nice touch because it does add a nice taste of the ocean to it. Like I said, one of my favorite things to cook since becoming vegetarian. Easy, filling, and I'd say it makes enough for 2 to 3 people, depending on how big your appetite is. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoy. See you on the next one. Bye.